Tell me about the piece with the clothesline. I love the dolls and the doll clothes.
Well, I love clotheslines, and I've tried to get one put up most everywhere I live. But there were times I lived in snooty neighborhoods where clotheslines were not allowed. So most of the rural places that I've been able to live in, I've made sure and get a clothesline up. I just love them. I love how they remind me of growing up. I love how they remind me of my grandmother, my mother. The whole activity of hanging clothes out on the line in the sunshine, and well, the sun connects us all, and they're these small, common, everyday things that we do in our lives that are beautiful moments to connect with nature. You don't really. I like the small moments in life when you're doing something that's common, but it's the commonality of connecting with the things in life that other people have to do as well. But it's more like going back in time, remembering my grandmother doing it, remembering my mother do it, remember helping my mother do it. And whenever I'm out there doing that, I like that it connects me to all that history and that past and that kind of woman thing. Um, it's a real woman's piece. It's a very sweet female moment.
And
I
that
think, in a
smell,
lot
the
of
laundry
ways.
smell.
Oh well, that's the best part. I mean, there's a great Zen quote that goes, "After ecstasy, the laundry," and I like to turn that one around because for me, when I'm doing laundry on a line, um, and you bring it in and it's all warm, that beautiful smell of sunshine and the heat of it, the smell of the sun, the fresh air on it. Uh, I like that phrase because for me, it's after the laundry, the ecstasy of that wonderful moment you get to have with the sunshine.
Well, it's also you also talk about noticing things.
Yeah, it's
That smell is something that you don't wouldn't pay attention to if you weren't necessarily doing it. You might not think of it, but in the middle of doing it, it's like if you pay attention to that detail, it's like it's kind of like what art is about. Art is about noticing things you don't
yeah,
always.
right, and it's not a task I rush through or I like to rush through. It's hanging laundry on a line is really all about being in that moment and the simple things you can notice about it. The texture of the clothes, the rhythm of the clothes that you put out, the feeling of the sun on you, the wind, how long it might take to dry. It's a really beautiful moment of Zen to me, hanging out laundry. It's a special thing. It's a more unique piece because when I thought about it, uh, I couldn't get the idea that I wanted to find the longest canvas I could because I had a vision of it being a laundry line. Now, how I was going to turn a great big long canvas into the essence of a laundry line eluded me. It escaped me. But once I got going on it, the whole beautiful horizon of that came together. And I don't want to get into the specifics of how I created the piece so much. I don't think that's very interesting to people, but all those little squares are little pieces of raw canvas cotton duck, and they are all dyed from antique packets of dye that I found at antique malls. And they again spoke to the history of that that chore, which is not a chore to me. It's funny how what was considered a very hard chore at one time has now become a moment of relaxation and enjoyment for me. So